Let's talk about whole milk in schools. Because yes, the rules have changed, and yes, people are talking about it. If you're new here, I'm Alex, pediatric dietitian, mom of two, and former school food service dietitian. Welcome to the Good Eaters Club, where we're redefining what it means to be a good eater, not the kind that needs to finish their glass of milk before they get up from the table. Before we get into the research here, yes, we do have an issue with childhood obesity in this country. That matters. But the real question is whole milk where the problem actually is? Recently, President Trump just signed the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act, which means schools are now allowed to offer whole milk and 2% milk along with lower fat options. This is optional, not a mandate. So no, schools are not going to be offering whole milk tomorrow, or probably next month. Districts have to think about supplier contracts, cost, because whole milk does cost a little bit more than lower fat options, and that matters when we're talking about school meals and playing with pennies, storage options, and student preferences. One interesting policy shift that people aren't really talking about is that the saturated fat from whole milk and 2% milk isn't going to count towards the saturated fat limits that schools have to follow, which to me is kind of interesting. So personally, my kids drink whole milk at home. They need the extra calories because they're light eaters, and my daughter is on an appetite suppressant medication. So she could use every calorie that she can. And honestly, it feels more filling to us and it tastes better. A bowl of cereal with full fat milk is so much tastier. But nutrition is not a one size fits all. So what works for my family might not be the best choice for yours. Now, what does the research actually say? There is a systematic review and meta-analysis that was done in 2020, and it found that children who drank whole milk had lower odds of being overweight or obese compared to kids who drank reduced fat milk. But it was observational, so we can't prove causation. Correlation does not equal causation. There are also studies showing protective associations between milk fat and lower odds of severe obesity in preschoolers. But on the flip side, many experts caution about the saturated fat that's in full fat dairy products like whole milk, especially for kids with family history of heart disease. That said, the research is definitely not perfect on either side, and we still want to be mindful about saturated fat. But when that fat is coming from a nutrient-dense, accessible, and affordable option like milk, I'm not overly worried about it for kids. Again, it depends on the child and how much we're consuming of it too. Where the option of whole milk really matters, picky eaters, light eaters, kids who are on appetite suppressant medication, or those that need the extra calories for medical reasons. Sometimes every calorie you can get matters. And now families have the option to access this without needing a doctor's note or another barrier. So yes, childhood obesity is real. But whole milk probably isn't the villain here. If you ask me, the bigger issue is making sure that we have universal, well-funded school meals for all kids. Because access matters more than debating milk fat percentages. If you found this helpful, make sure that you subscribe below and share it with another parent so that you never miss out on another episode of the Good Eaters Club.